So in this segment, we're going to be talking about Red Wall Tories set up a WhatsApp group called Lizz for Leader in a plot to install Foreign Secretary Truss as the head of the party. So this article published the 27th of November. We're going to be going over some of Liz Truss's biggest hits. So yeah, be prepared for that. But I found this article quite interesting, especially given all the problems Johnson is facing. I think this article becomes a lot more prominent, and I think Tories in the South would prefer someone like Sunak, even though he's Asian. But I think Tories in the North, they want Liz Truss because she's got more of those kind of chaotic Johnson, fake patriot kind of vibes. So Tory MPs have set up a phone messaging group to carry out secret plotting to install Foreign Secretary Liz Truss as party leader. I mean, imagine wanting Liz Truss to be your leader. Pain. Members of the WhatsApp group, which is called Lizz for Leader, and dominated by new MPs from the Red Wall seats. I mean, why don't you use Signal? Wouldn't you use something more that's encrypted? Like, better encrypted. They've been exhorting colleagues to rebel against Johnson on issues such as the government's social care reforms, which again has kind of fallen by the wayside, and the Prime Minister's doomed decision to defend Patterson over the sleaze allegation. Let's throw in here the Christmas party stuff, which I doubt is going well with the North or the rest of the UK. Johnson's recent political difficulties have seen his approval ratings tumble, which has continued to do so. So Tory members want Liz. A source said the 2019 intake, particularly the Red Wallers, are disenchanted with Boris, especially over migrants and high taxes, or asylum seekers and high taxes, which does tell you a lot about those people and what they think people in the North actually care about. It's kind of ironic that Boris Johnson actually put these people in Westminster and gave them jobs. They are now turning against him. They don't think he has a right-wing bone in his body. Well, that's not true. He's got a very fashy bone in his body, and believe Liz would be more faithful to traditional Conservative values, except she sold out all traditional Conservative values. She was a Remainer who became a Brexiteer. She firmly believes whatever Boris Johnson believes, evidently, or she's at least pretending to stay where she is. So, again, this is a really fraudulent claim right there. Comes after Truss removed a key aide over claims he had been aggressively agitating her to succeed Mr Johnson by sounding out colleagues of her chancellor, which is a bit embarrassing, really. This guy was openly saying, what do you think of Liz? You think Liz would be a good leader, huh? What do you think of Liz, huh? A bit embarrassing, really. As Mr Johnson's fortunes have dipped, party whips have been keeping an increasingly close eye on MPs and advisors around Miss Truss, looking for signs of an incipient leadership bid and blue on blue actions. Let's go blue on blue violence. Love that. Against her main rival, Sunak. Sorry I pronounce it like that. It's just I blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for that. But yeah, they are scared of a potential leadership challenge. And I think Tories in the South would prefer someone like Sunak, who does have more traditional Conservative values and doesn't understand economics like most Conservatives, rather than Liz Truss. While I think Northerners would prefer Liz Truss because she's got that more kind of fake populist kind of energy. But let's look through some of Liz Truss's greatest hits here. Some of these are phenomenal.
Right through to April 2019, looking at what the possible scenarios are, right, and making sure that we're able to spend...
Sorry about the audio is not the best.
...money to deal with those contingencies so we're prepared for any eventuality.
But what are the actual preparations?
Well...
So I just wanted to know, have you been told as a cabinet how you will do it?
No.
Sajid Javid said he does know how you're going to do it, but he wouldn't tell Nick Robinson on the Today programme 2 days ago. But you don't know, just to be clear.
I don't know. The Americans are lapping up Love Island and Downton Abbey, so there is huge enthusiasm for doing a deal with Britain.
Well, Americans love our shows. They want to do a deal with us. I mean, Americans also love Dragon Ball Z and Naruto and One Piece. It's not going to make them more likely to do a deal with Japan, is it?
I don't know the precise details of exactly what we will do, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. It's not about me, it's about the whole country.
My question's about you. How have you been affected? Have you been adversely affected?
Well, what I would say is that we have had a period
I don't know why it's funny.
Where...
A lot of people have had a terrible time with austerity.
Eddie, I'm not laughing. I'm just questioning your question, because this is a scenario.
So the government is preparing to deploy the army?
But we are preparing for what potentially could happen.
What would the army do when you deploy it?
This is not, this is a completely hypothetical question. The reality is...
No, you said you're preparing. You said you're preparing.
I was at HMP Pentonville last week. They've now got patrol dogs who are barking, which helps deter drones. So
Wait, what?
You said you're preparing.
I was at HMP Pentonville last week. They've now got patrol dogs who are barking, which helps deter drones.
Drones aren't. They're not sentient. They're machines. Like, do you think the drones would be like, "Oh no, there's a dog barking. I need to get out of here." Like, what? What are you talking about? She's an absolute gaff machine.
So
Why are you charging them 55 pence a minute to call up and try and get their universal credit payments fixed?
Well, I don't know the details of the call line, and as you've said, it's more affordable if you ring up the landline. But
lots of people don't have landlines these days.
The fundamental model
Be implemented.
But what about the people who've changed their minds between then and now?
I don't think people have changed their minds. Everyone I speak to, I have. That's true.
Right.
In the other way, though.
I have. That's true. Let's go back a bit. You can see her brain kind of melt there.
I speak to.
She's like, "Oh wait, I have, haven't I?"
I have. That's true.
Right.
In the other way, though.
And do you know what? We got another one here, which it does cover some of the same stuff, but we're gonna go back through it. Do you know why? Because we love pain on this channel. That's why we're here, to suffer. Because she could be the next Prime Minister of this goddamn plague island.
You have a plan. You had a plan in 2014 to build 200,000 new starter homes. That was 5 years ago. How many did you build?
Well, there haven't been as many starter homes as we would have liked.
How many did you build?
I don't have the exact numbers for you.
Well, it's easy to remember. It's zero. You built none under
You built none.
that plan. 200,000, zero in 5 years.
Personally been affected by austerity.
Well, I think the whole country has.
I'm asking about you.
Well, it's not about me. It's about
My
the whole
question's about
country.
you. How have you been affected? Have you been adversely affected?
Well, what I would say is that we have had a
I don't know
period
why it's funny.
where it's
A
not.
lot of
I'm
people
not,
have had a terrible time with austerity.
Eddie, I'm not laughing. I'm just questioning your question because
Well, you
this is,
leave the questions up to me.
Are you like the Riddler or something? Are you questioning people's questions now? Like, I asked the questions here. Do you think you're an FBI interrogator? Like, what is this?
What's the answer to mine? It would be okay, wouldn't it, to say you haven't been affected?
I just don't.
Let me ask you a different.
I don't like markets.
Oh, absolute classics here.
In December, I'll be in Beijing, opening up new pork markets.
I mean, it didn't really work out, did it? That's one of the reasons why we're culling pigs right now. So, okay. Yeah, great one.
We are growing wheat more competitively than the Canadian prairies.
Who are the Canadian prairies? Who's that? Why are we competing with them?
We're producing more varieties of cheese than the French.
I mean, if you said we're growing more wheat than like the Russians or the Ukrainians, that gives me a kind of metric. But yeah, I don't know what she's talking about. Let's go back a bit. What's she talking about now?
We're producing more varieties of cheese than the French.
I mean, varieties. Okay. I mean, the cheese are known for like Camembert and stuff like that. The weird smell cheese. Like, we're providing more like varieties. What are you talking, like strong cheddar, extra strong cheddar, mega strong cheddar, ultra cheddar, mega ultra cheddar? Like, what is this? What are you talking about? Yeah, cheese. We love cheese.
And we are selling tea to China.
Okay. Probably black tea because they probably drink green tea over there.
Yorkshire tea.
Okay. She also talked about how we're importing like 2/3 of our cheese, which is a disgrace. So we make all these varieties of our cheese, which no one in this country really wants to eat, considering we're importing 2/3 of our cheese. Like I think that must mean 2/3 of the cheese we consume in the UK are imported. So clearly, people in this country don't like the different varieties of cheddar cheese and red Leicester cheese. And according to the Telegraph, there looks to be a real danger that the Tories on the rebound from one empty vessel may fall for the charms of another. Truss is at least no moral reprobate, but look hard and there's nothing there, which is true because she sold out ideologically. And so they're a bit wary of her. But the thing is, she wouldn't have a lot of the things that make Boris Johnson the kind of election machine he was. But at the same time, she's not probably going to do the stupid stuff like go to a Christmas party during a tier 3 lockdown, because I don't think she was there. I mean, if she has half a brain, she wouldn't have done the Owen Paterson-Sleaze stuff, but I think she voted in support of the Leadsom amendment, but she kind of has to because she's a cabinet minister. So I think maybe her instincts are possibly better, but yeah, you know, if she's our next Prime Minister, God help us all. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. And I'm sorry to subject you all to so much pain if you actually made it to the end of the video. I apologise.